Alright, hey guys, I know it's been forever. I did want to come out with a new video though. I've been playing like 2-3 decks max. It's been really fun and I've been enjoying it personally a lot. But I don't want to take too much time into this. But I know it's been like a couple weeks, a month, and then before that, a couple months before that. So it's been like 5 months since I really posted often, but stuff's changed. So our One Piece walls got a little bit bigger. I'm gonna be doing tons of Union Arena when it comes out. Hopefully I can keep doing that. Hopefully it keeps going and I keep getting more views. So I can really post up on Union. But I do have over here, guys. I do have some Spider-Man posters I'm gonna be putting up soon. So we're gonna have to get those set up. But yeah. So we're just gonna get right into it. So to start, we are going to do this. We're gonna go right into it. So just to start, this video is all about Kuro. He's my only deck that I've been playing, as you guys could see in the profile. So his ability is activate main, pay 3. You may rest 2 of your East Blue type characters. So my 2 East Blue type characters. Set this leader as active. Rest up to one of your opponent's 5 costs or less. So the whole deck is built around this one leader. The really cool thing about this deck is it's super cheap. Way cheaper than most other decks in the game. So it is really nice in that way. It's been really good. But we'll just get right into it. So I'll explain kind of how to play the deck, but obviously you have your Tendon, just like always. And then I'm going to read out all the cards of the deck and then we'll just mess around with it. So we play a lot of 3s and 4s. There's some cards that I kind of disagree with, but I've been playing just to try and test out and make sure that I like them at all. And one of those, and we only play one of because I didn't really know what to put instead of there, and I'm still trying to mess around with the deck. So this is an OPO 7 deck. What's weird to say because you only play one card, and the newest card is a OPO 6 card, and it is 4 Zoros. We play. Let me make sure before I tell you guys this correctly. Yeah, okay. We play 4 Hachons. I'll show you guys those. 4 Hachons. I know I don't have the 4th one, or I do, but I forgot to put it in here. And then 3 Blocker Pearls. They're the 2 costs. And everything so far has been East Blue except Zoro. Zoro is like one of the only things in this deck that isn't East Blue. I think it's literally the only thing. And then we play 3 Out of the Bags. Out of the Bag is really nice in this deck. And I forgot to explain a couple of these cards off, so I'll do that right after I explain Out of the Bag. So Out of the Bag is your 3 cost event. It's this one. You may rest up to one of your East Blue type characters. Set up to one of your Kuro cards as active. Now it has a trigger. KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters with cost 3 or less. It's not amazing. It's only there just so you can restand your Kuro type cards or your Kuro type leader, and it's mainly there for your leader, but it only costs 3 to restand your leader, so you could put all your Dawn except 3 on your leader, so put 7 on Kuro and then keep 3 off, and then so you could go 12-12 into your opponent and then just restand, obviously. And then so Pearl is just a blocker, but it's a 1k. That's the reason that's played in here. And then we have 4 Hachons. Hachons are 4Ks. They also have a trigger. They're a 4-5, or a 4-4 actually. And they have a trigger if your leader is East Blue, what it is, play this card. So it's just there for the 2k, and then you can play it out if you really need it the next turn and don't want to have to pay for an extra body out that's East Blue, because your leader all it's doing is just resting characters, kind of for a Eustace Captain Kidd type of vibe. And then Zoro, at the end of the day, it says activate when attacking once per turn, pay 1. Set this character as active, and it says once per turn. And the second ability says restand this leader and attack again for paying 2. So you put all your Dawn except 3 on Zoro, and then you swing for, well, let's say 7 plus that, so 16k to lead. and then you pay the 1, and then 17 to lead, and then you pay the 2, and then 17 to lead. So it's just the exact same, or 16 to lead 3 times for all your Dawn combined. But you could also go straight up, just pay the 3 and go 9, 9, 9, and then go with the rest of your characters in different orders, and it's still getting the 3 swings out. But Zoro's really nice, and you play for that. So 4 Zoros, 4 Hachons, 3 pearls, and 3 out of the bags. And pearls are just blockers like I was talking about. And then our next card, we play 4 Buchis. So now Buchis are going to be played off of another card that I'll show you guys in a minute. Or actually, I'll show you it in just a second. Let me put this on my lap. Buchi is a 4/5. He has an on-play KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters with cost 2 or less. So this whole deck's basically about killing your opponent's low-cost blockers and then just going big swings over and over. Well, you can play different ways, but that's the main way of doing it. But he's a 4/5 with a 1k counter. Now you have another card in here that I'm going to find real fast. And you basically get to pay 3 to bring out your 4 cost and a 3 cost character out. And that is Sham. So all Sham is doing, and you play 4 of each, so you play 4 Buchis and 4 Shams. Shams are 1k counters as well. But he says if your leader is East Blue type, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with cost 2 or less. And if you don't have Buchi, play up to 1 Buchi from your hand. So if you already have a Buchi out on board, then it doesn't really work. But if it's your very first time, then if you're at 3 down, let's say, you could play Sham. Sham will tap something low on their side, and then you play Buchi. Buchi is played off of Sham for free, and then KOs whatever you just tapped with Sham. So it's just simple. But yeah, you play 4 of each. So this is 8k worth of counter right here. And then we're going to go to our next card. Now this one's pretty hated by a lot of people, but I think it's nice, and I'll show you guys the combo later. But it's Olivia. She is a 1k counter, 1 cost, 3k with no trigger. It's amazing just because it's East Blue, so you can tap it with some of your other cards I'll show you later. It's just a cheaper like Nami searcher, just without the search, just so you can tap it for the East Blue effect. So, and then we will play 4 Izus. Izuzu 2k. She's a 33. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with cost 4. Or 4 or less. Yeah, with cost 4 or less. So yeah, and you play 4 of those, and then those are your 2Ks. So your Hachons and Izus are gonna be your 2Ks. Yep. And then you have your Jangos. Your Jangos have 2 different effects on play, so you can pick one of 2. And it is a 5 cost, 6k, so it's just a nice body. But the bigger thing is choose one. Set up to one of your East Blue type leader or character cards with cost 6 or less as active. Or rest this character and up to one of your opponent's characters. So any one of their characters. So you can pay 5, tap anything on their board. Or you can restand something like our Kuro and go use 5. So if you have all 10 of your Dawn, you can go put 5 on Kuro, your leader, and go 10 swing, play Django, restand Kuro, go 10 swing with Kuro again, and then you get 20k swing worth of swings. But you also have your Django just so it's an extra body, and it can be played off of something like Krieg, and Krieg is a double attack that you put Dawn on it. I'll show that off. And then we also just purely have a Kuro in here. That's a 6/8 Kuro that I'll show you guys in a minute. But we only play one of it just because it's not really too useful and there's just better cards. And then we have Jin. He is a 4/5 with 1k counter. I know it's a little hard for you guys to see. If your leader is East Blue, rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters with cost 4 or less. So it's just there, so you can play that off of something like Krieg, and it's just a 1. It's a 4/5 for a 1 counter. It's not bad, and it just rests like little things. And then we play another OP06 card. It is Arlong. You may trash 1 card from your hands, so something like a Zoro or something that's just straight up brick. And then up to one of your opponent's rested leaders cannot attack. Rested leaders cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn, and rest up to one of your opponent's characters with cost 4 or less. So. is the trigger. So it's a 4/6, so it's big. It's mainly just there for the body, and it's East Blue. And then you have Nami. Her trigger is to play her, and she's a 2 cost for 2k for a 1k counter. And she looks at the top 5, finds the East Blue, and then you can't search her. So you just search for anything in your deck, pretty much except your Zoros. That's the only big thing about Zoro that's bad. And then for your little guys, or for your guys that are like 1 and 2 ofs and 3 ofs. So Kuro, he's a 1k counter. He's a 6 cost 8k, and he's at East Blue, and he's just there so you can play it off of something like your Django that can restand a Kuro, or something with 6k or 6 cost or less. So it's just solid. And then you only play 1 of that, and then you play 2 of Punk Gibson's. And Punk Gibson is an old event from OPO1. Up to 1 of your leaders or characters gains plus 4k power during this battle. Then rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with cost 4 or less. This can be amazing and can genuinely win you the game. And its second effect is even better. It is literally a, you know, the yellow event. There's a yellow event that stops anything from attacking. It has the same trigger. Rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters. That's it. That's the whole trigger. So it's amazing. That trigger is insane, guys. Maybe you guys don't realize it, but that genuinely is an insane trigger. Just because you can stop anything from swinging at you, even if it has Dawn on it, they can't take it back. So now we have Creek. On play, you may trash 1 card from your hand, just like your Fishman. He's a 6/7, KO up to 1 of your 2 of your opponent's rested characters with cost 4 or less. Dawn 1, if this guy has a Dawn on him, this character gains double attack. What's pretty insane, just because it's already a 7, so it's basically saying if it's an 8, okay, that it can double attack. It just gets double attack. So the best thing about that is that you can play this combo in here. So you can play out Kriegs with your Jangos, and your Django says I can restand anything with 6 cost or less. This is a 6 cost or less. So if he was already out a turn, let's say you have 1 of these guys out on board, I can go boom, I'll play this, and then next round, let's say that I just have this guy in my hand. Let's say that I'm at 10 Dawn. I'm gonna go, even if I was at 6 Dawn and then now I'm going to 8 Dawn, I could go 4, 8, and then I'll still have 2 not even in play yet. So these are my Dawn up, and then this guy doesn't know what my card in hand is. They have no blockers. What I do is I keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my Dawn off so I can play my Django, and then I go 8, 9, 10. 10 lead with double attack, and then they take it or they don't, and then I pay 5 Django. Django goes into play, resets a 6 cost or less, he's 6 or less, and then go 10k back to lead with double attack. So I could take 4 Dawn from them, 4 life from them, very potentially. So you gotta be, or you could straight up just win the game. If you put them down to 2 life and you have this combo right here, you basically win the game, unless they have tons of blockers, because being at 2 life against this is not good ever, just because it's such a good combo. But once in a while it gets pretty bad, so you guys gotta still be careful about that, because the deck is really not very, very good, but it's still playable, obviously. But yeah, so that's the deck list. So I hope you guys liked it. I'm gonna show a little bit of, like, not gameplay, but like a little bit of play against myself, I guess, with the deck. So we're gonna shuffle it real fast. And if you guys don't know about the shuffling, like if you're trying to hard shuffle after barely building a deck, what I do is I make sure that all the cards are together, and then I do, or most of them are together. And I do this right here, not face up normally, but just like this. I try and do this, and then when I'm done, so I just kind of have to show you guys something while I do this, so it's a real game. But yeah, so Zoro's really good in here. Sham and Bucci, I think Sham and Bucci isn't really a great combo, because it's 8 cards in your deck that don't really hit much, because you have to have both in hand for it to do much at all. They're just better combos. Not with this deck, though. So that's the only reason that's in here, is because it's bad combo, but good for this deck. So it's also, you can use it for your leader ability. So if you're at 3 Dawn and you have both those in hand, you can use leader ability the very next turn and just get it. So yeah, I'm just putting all of them together, not shuffling or anything, but just putting them together. And then now I shuffle it just a little, guys. So, and then try not look at the cards, and then I just put it down, and the person cuts it. So I'm just gonna cut it myself, and then I'm ready for the game. So obviously it's not like Commander, so you're gonna have this, and then let's say that I go second. So, oh, I gotta take my cards to hand. So I just grab a giant chunk. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put the cards back on top. Look at them, and then I'm like, okay, Izu, Arlong, Olivia, Izu, and Bucci. So Bucci is cool to see here, but I'm not really pushing for the Bucci Sham combo. But if I see it, I want it. But I have a pretty good hand, but I don't really have a Nami in hand, and Nami is normally what I'm looking for. So I'm just gonna mulligan. So we're just gonna mulligan, and then they're gonna cut it, and then we're gonna hope that I hit one of my good cards, or one of my good combos, or something that's gonna basically make my game go. But so boom, they're gonna cut it again. I'm gonna hope that these cards on top are good. And then, so this is my actual hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the cool thing about this leader is it's just green, so it has 5 life. It is a 5 life leader. And then my hand is actually pretty good here. So I have a Sham, I have a Kuro, I have a Django, and I have a Jin. So I see one pretty solid lineup right now, and it is my Django and my Kuro. Now I still have 2 1Ks and then 2K, and my Jin is really good just to have out, and it can rest 2 of my opponents like low cost blockers, you know, or decently low cost blockers. Then my Izu can block something. There's a lot of stuff that can stop blockers, but so basically I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'll go second. So, because that's normally what you want in second. So I draw, do that, and luckily I hit Nami off of my draw. So I'm gonna pay the 2. I'm gonna bring out Nami, and I can't swing my first turn, but I can search because I just played a Nami. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want Bucci because I have a Sham in hand, and let's make sure that I have a Sham. I do have a Sham, so yeah, I want that. But my other choices were these, but I couldn't obviously pick the Zoro, or I probably would have. No, I wouldn't have. But yeah, these are my rest of my cards. The bag kind of sucks to see, my blocker kind of sucks to see, and then my 2K kind of sucks to see in trash, but at least I had something to pick. So I picked my Bucci, and then now I know what I'm going to do turn 3. Realistically, I'm going to put 1 down onto my leader and then play out Sham into Bucci. And if they played like something low, like a blocker, like Baby 5, Baby 5 Searcher kind of sucks into this because I can just KO it. So let's say that they put out Searcher and then they search for a card that they need. I'm going to do my 2 next on. And then, oh, obviously they swung at me last turn, I guess. So let's do a 2K. Just because I do kind of want to protect my life a little more with this deck. And then now I'm going to go and let's say that they played a baby. Let's say that I'm playing against Baby 5 deck. So I'm going to pay 3. Let's say that they have a Baby 5 out. I'm going to rest that Baby 5 if they haven't done their effect. And then that lets me put out Bucci because I put out Shan. And then Bucci's going to KO that Baby 5. So that's straight off the board, and these are just good. A 4-5 and a 3-4 are pretty good to have out on board. And then all I'm gonna do is go 6 to lead, and then pass. And then, so nothing crazy is happening, but I am building up a fast board, and I can use all these guys in combos. And then so now I'm gonna take a life because they're probably gonna swing at me for a pretty crazy amount. I pull a Sham, so there's no trigger on that. And then let's say that they swing at me twice. Let's say that I have to block. Boom. And then boom. Say that I block with both those. Next turn I'll have 7 Dawn. Right? 5, 6 Dawn. So that's not bad. But so now, because I can't really play into my huge stuff and I only have, oh, I should have 1 more card in here. But okay, so my hand is looking like this, and I have 3, 4, 5, 6 Dawn. Here I could go 2 different ways. If I really wanted, I could go for 2 big swings, or I could go for 2 little swings and bring out another thing out. So here, honestly, I do really want to do the Kuro and Django way, but I could also put 1 on Kuro and go 2 little swings by using Django with it, and then have an extra body out, and the next turn go bigger with my Nami and Sham, and tap those, get a blocker off. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna just do that. That's why Kuro's not too good. It's just because it takes an extra turn. But I'm gonna go 6 lead, and then I'm gonna pay 5, play out to Django. He's gonna restain my leader, and then I'm gonna go 6 lead again and just get 2 swings off. And then now I have a 4, and then I'm gonna go 5, 2 I guess, because that matters. And then yeah, so that's basically my whole game right here, is just getting that off to do 2 swings with Kuro for 6, and then a 5. And that's pretty much it there. And then I'm gonna pass, and they're gonna swing at me. Let's say that I take 1 life. Let's say that I take 2 life. So one was a Zoro, 1 was a Django. Let's say that they tried to kill me another, and then so I just put out 2 1Ks. Let's just say that they're going really hard in the paint right here, trying to kill me. And then I go boom, boom. I drew. I did everything there. So now my board is pretty terrifying. Well, not pretty terrifying, but pretty scary. So I'm at 8 Dawn because I have 2 Dawn over there. I could play my Django into another Django, or I could do Django into Kuro, but obviously my Django into another Django would be nicer. But now I'm thinking about it, is if I have 8, I could do this, and I have 5. I could do Django, and I could do my other swing, and I could get a lot of swings off here. But I don't think it's worth it too much, so I'm actually gonna keep 2 Dawn. I'm gonna go 5 lead, 5 lead, 5 lead, guys, and then I'm going to go and swing 6 lead. I'm gonna pay 5, and then I'm gonna play out Django. Django is not gonna KO anything because there's not enough stuff out, and then I'm gonna restand Django and then re-swing with Django. And so I got 2 6s off, I got 3 5s off, and then I got it to build another thing off board with 8 Dawn. And then I still have 2 Dawn up, but I could have went 7 8 and then went 8 8 instead of 6 6. But because it's early, I'm just trying to get cards out of this guy's hand or get their life low. They're probably about 1 life, maybe 2 max, but they're gonna have like nothing in hand. So I'm gonna pass. And then I still have 2 up, and then I have a Pug Gibson in hand, and I'm just trying to survive so I can get Zoro out and then survive another turn. And then, so I'm just trying to survive. So they're going to swing at my leader for 5, so I'm going to block with the 1K blocker. And they're going to swing again at my Django. And I'm going to go Punk Gibson with their, so let's say that they're playing, because we were saying that they're playing Baby. I'm going to tap their 4-cost blocker that restands 2 of their Dawn at the end of the turn. So I'm going to tap that. And it's still going to do its effects, but I do survive that with Django because it's a plus 4K. And then I only have my Zoro in hand, and then they're going to, let's say, go Sham, kill Sham. And then that's it. And then I take 0 life, so because I countered out with everything. So 2 more Dawn, so I'm at 10 Dawn. I draw my card for turn, and I have a Sham and a Zoro in hand. So all I'm trying to do here is get a couple more swings off. And honestly, if they're at 2 life, I don't even need Zoro here. I could just try and finish them off. And the way that I would do that, and I can keep these up just to show you guys. And the way that I do that is I pay 3 for leader effect, right? To restand my Kuro. So all I gotta do here is let's say if they only have like 2 cards, like 5. Let's say that they have 3 cards in their hand. Let's go Let's go 7 lead. Or no, let's do it this way. Yeah, actually, yeah. 7 lead. Let's see if they counter whatever. I'm going to go 7 lead again. And then I have 8 Dawn left because I'm going to use, because I used 1 for each Django. One of those will hit, right? Obviously, one will hit. And then I don't want to swing with my Nami or my Bucci because I'm going to use both of them to tap like something like let's say that there's a Sabo. Sabo's a 5 cost. I could tap it. I'm not KOing it. I'm just tapping it. So all I'm going to be doing here, guys, is the most simple combo ever. So I have my 5 Dawn left because I used 2 and then 6, 7, 8. So 5 plus 3 is 8. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep 3 up. I'm going to go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 to lead. And I still have my Bucci and my Nami. And then now I'm going to pay 3 because they took the life. So now they're at 0 because they took 1 life off of Django and then countered out with the rest of their hand to survive. And I'm going to pay 3. I'm going to restand Kuro after I swing. And my first swing is going to go for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 lead. And then I'm going to pay 3, tap my Nami and Bucci. And I'm going to tap, let's say, something like a Sabo, so a 5 cost, 6 blocker. I'm going to tap that, and then I'm going to re-swing for another 10 to lead. And they don't survive, and then they die because they don't have enough cards. And even with like a 7 or a 6k swing, it still would have worked. And if I tried to do the Zoro, I probably would have died unless I hit really good triggers. So I hit 2 triggers off of life if I kept letting it go through, because my life was a R long, and I didn't know this. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with cost 4 less. And then my Nami was a play this card. So basically, if I didn't kill them that turn and I played a Zoro, my game would have looked like this. So let me show you guys kind of what it looked like. So if I went for more of a soft, and they still would have had 2 life, and they would have basically known that they had to kill me then or never kill me. And so basically they were gonna push me down. That's why I was like, I gotta kind of just do whatever. So my other route was to go and, because this was my hand at the beginning of that turn, let's say that I didn't go for the offense, I went for kind of the defense with the offense round next turn, I would have went and swung 6, 6, 5, or yeah, 6, 6, 5, and let's say 6, and then I would have paid 9, brought out Zoro, and had all of my 5 characters on board. And my Zoro, basically I could swing 3 times, but it doesn't have rush, so I have to wait till next turn. So now I'm in a weird spot that I'm hoping that my triggers are really good and my counter in hand, and they don't have a huge board of swings. So I'm gonna, though, let's say that they do a 5 to me, so I'm gonna counter out with the 1k. Now they know that I have nothing in their hand, they're gonna swing 5 on me, obviously, and then I'm gonna rest one of their cost 4 less, and then this goes trash. And so they only have 1 swing left, so they'd obviously hit me. And I'd play Nami, play that, search, but yeah, so. Please subscribe, please follow. I'll see you guys on another video. I'm Wire. Goodbye.